Hey guys, welcome to my third ever Q&A video. To start, I got a question for you. What do you think of my makeup today? When I put on this makeup this morning, I actually took some footage of that, made a video. So if you want me to edit that footage into a makeup tutorial, let me know in the comments. This first question is from Gina, and Gina is actually one of our supporters on Patreon that you might have heard me mentioning before. When you support us on Patreon, you can actually get a Q&A question of your own. So this is Gina's question. What is a book that has inspired you? And this question is so difficult to answer for me because I read a lot and I have so many favorite books. But at the moment, since it's sort of getting into springtime, I'm really inspired by a book by, okay, my French is really bad, but it's called Bonjour Tristesse by Françoise Sagan, or I'm not sure how she pronounced her name. And it's just like a very beautiful book, both language-wise, but also just her way of capturing those like small emotions and just the humanity of her characters is just truly inspiring. So check that out if you haven't. Another one of our supporters on Patreon is Tessie, and she actually has two questions. What is yours and David's favorite animated films? So me and David are huge Studio Ghibli fans. Miyazaki is one of our all-time favorite directors. So we love all of their films, but especially probably Princess Mononoke is just the most beautiful movie. It's one of our favorite films in all categories, not just in the animated sort of category. Other Japanese animated films that we love are Only Yesterday, Wolf Children, Garden of Words. So yeah, Japanese animated films are definitely our favorite animated movies. So for Tessie's second question, I'm really glad that you asked this, Tessie. It's about my cookbook, and it's about if it's going to be available in English or not. And you know, I get asked this every day probably, and I really hope that it will be available in English soon. But the thing is, I published this book with a publisher, so I just wrote the book and they take care of everything else. So they do the distribution and translation and everything like that. So it's really not up to me. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, and of course, if it will get translated, I will let you know ASAP. So the last question from our Patreon supporters is from Sarah, and she is wondering how it is to be seen as a successful woman when I'm normally a person who don't really care about gender that much. So first of all, it's really weird to be seen as a successful woman because I'm not successful. Me and David struggle to get by every day, so that's the first thing. But I understand her question anyway. So being seen as like a female influencer or a woman blogger or a successful woman is really odd to me and a little bit uncomfortable, to be honest, because you know I'm born and raised in Sweden, one of the most feminist countries in the world. I don't really care about gender. I find that quite unimportant and uninterested, to be honest. So every time I've seen as a female blogger writing for other women, it makes me a bit upset because, you know, I don't write for women, I write for whomever is interested in what I have to say. So if you find anything interesting about my content, you will always be welcome to my space. No matter if you're a man, woman, or cow, or Martian, or whatever, you will be welcome. So it's not like I walk around seeing myself as a woman all the time or see David as a man. I just like see us as Jenny and David. I don't really care about our gender. So I'm hoping that one day, you know, I will be seen as just a YouTuber or just a blogger, not like a female blogger or a woman YouTuber. So there's some questions that I get asked so many times over and over, so I thought I'm just going to like quickly run through them. So first of all, what equipment I'm using, I answered this in my first Q&A video. So if you're interested in my camera equipment, I'll put a link to the first Q&A video in the description to this video. Also, you asked me a lot about David. Can he please be in a video, or why don't I let him be in a video? I've already answered this before as well. It's not up to me. David doesn't want to be on camera. He's behind it. Hi, babe. But I'm nagging him all the time because I would love to make videos with him, and I think that he might be warming up to the idea. What do you say, David? Are you warming up? He seems like he seems a bit reluctant, but keep nagging him, you as well, and maybe one day he will show up on camera. Okay, also you asked me a lot about the music I'm using in my videos. So I'm signed with a Swedish YouTube network called United Screens, and when you're signed with them, you get a license to Epidemic Sound, which is a royalty-free sound music library. So I just go through there. They have like a million songs. So I just go through there and find whatever song I think is suitable for the video I'm making. So every time you ask me like, what's the name of this song? I have no idea. You know, I just like listen through a bunch of songs and just pick the one that I think is suitable for the video. So another question you ask me all the time is, what is my job? What is my occupation? This is actually my job. I create content. I make videos and I blog and I write and I make cookbooks. So this is what both me and David are doing full-time, trying to make a living out of just creating content for you guys. Snack break. Ooh, another question you ask me all the time is how I edit my videos and how I edit my photos. So I will make a video about how I edit my video footage, but I've already written a blog post about how I edit my food photos. So if you want to check that out already, I will just like put a link in the description box. Moving on to some Instagram questions. The first one is from Linda Talley. What are your favorite foods? So I love food from Southeast Asia the most, like Vietnamese, Chinese, Thai food, Korean, Japanese food, that sort of thing. So noodle soup, different kinds of noodle soup is probably my all-time favorite dish. I love like fresh spring rolls, anything with tofu. And I love like fruits and berries like blackcurrant, it's so yummy, and mushrooms. Another food-related question is from Kajsa Maria. Is there some food ingredient you simply don't like the taste? Yes, I don't like licorice and I don't like fennel because it tastes like licorice. Here's a question from Kate Ridd, maybe. What makes you happy? And I got a similar question from Kay O'Fay as well. What makes me happy? David, vegan food, Berlin, writing, The Amazing Race. Yep, seriously, The Amazing Race. And you guys. Next question is from Oat So Healthy. How do you explain your minimalist lifestyle to family, friends, others, like when it comes to gift giving? So I'm guessing that the question is like, if someone wants to give me a gift, how do I like explain what I want? So if someone asks me like what I want for Christmas or something, usually I just tell them that, you know, I just want money so that I can pay my rent and keep making YouTube videos and writing my blog posts. We got a question from Eon K, maybe? I got married recently and I want to get some advice for a long-term relationship working well. First of all, congratulations on just getting married, that's amazing, I'm so happy for you. Secondly, we got a similar question from Ella Weed as well about like how to have a happy long-term relationship. Coincidentally, I asked David this question just a couple of days ago because we watched this TV series where they talked about long-term relationships, and I asked him like if he would say one thing, what's the most important thing for like a happy relationship, and he said just to talk a lot about everything. That's like the secret to a happy relationship, and I quite agree. Also, I wrote a blog post a while back where I like list the 3 top reasons why I think that me and David are a happy couple. So if you want a bit more information on that, I will, like as usual, put the link in the description. Berry Blue has a question for me. Do you like the Hunger Games? Yes, I do. Stephanie says, hey lovely, do you want to have a pet? Hey lovely, no, I don't want to have a pet. First of all, if I did, I would never like buy a pet from like a breeder. I would definitely consider adopting a pet if my lifestyle wasn't like as weird as it is. Like me and David, we just love moving, as you might have noticed. We just love moving and traveling, and our job makes it possible for us to do that. So I don't want anything that like holds me down. I just want to have like as free and as adventurous life as possible, and I think that, you know, having a pet would sort of definitely make us more like grounded and more responsible, I guess. Fruitarian Dancer wants to know, do you like dancing? I love dancing. That's like my favorite. So like forever I've been planning to start dancing like as exercise, and it's like my next step like in getting a bit more settled life, a bit more structured life. So if you know like a good dance studio here in Berlin, please hook me up. You know, I just so eager to start dancing. I don't even care what type of dance, I want to try it all. Next question is from Akio, who wants to know, will you come to Japan? Yes, Akio, I promise you I will come to Japan one day, hopefully sooner rather than later. David has promised me like ages ago that we will live in Japan for at least 6 months out of our life together. So I know that sooner or later it's just a question of time, and then we will come to Japan and we will stay for a while. These are all the questions we have time for this time, but I will surely make more Q&As in the future, of course. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I would love you forever if you do. And subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, and don't forget to tell me in the comments if you wanted me to edit all that footage I have of this makeup I did today. I can definitely show you guys if you are up for it. I think that's it. Have a beautiful day, you guys, and I will see you very, very soon. Love you. Bye.